Hey, thanks for tuning in, and welcome to another episode of the 1978 Kawasaki Z1R restoration that is dragging on and on and on. Don't really know what to say about that. It's taken a lot of time. I'm a weekend warrior on this stuff. My real job is to work on software, so I come out to my shop on the weekend, and past, 2 months, I've been getting about 4 hours, 6 hours a week that I can work out in the shop. And in addition to the Z1R, it's now early spring, it's the end of April, and I'm trying to, I have a bunch of other bikes, other things that I have restored or fixed up or whatever, and I'm trying to sell some of those, so that also eats into the time that I have to spend. So, anyway, another bunch of work for the Z1R. Thanks. This is the new clutch cover, and this is the little window that gets put in there. It's like a piece of glass, this little metal thing, and a rubber seal that goes over it. Goes in there. And this is so you can check the oil level is between these two little lines here. So I was told to put sealant around Z1parts.net, retro motorcycles on eBay. The guy was super responsive. I spent thousands of dollars with him at this point, so hopefully he would be. But yeah, he told me this is what you should do. That's cockeyed. If I can make it flush with the back of this. Is that how it goes? That looks pretty good. Now I have to get the sealer out of here. Right. This is the Spark Advancer. This is the original one on the bike. Here's another one. Mine wasn't, the one on the Z1R wasn't quite this bad. Oh, this even moves. I can't believe this moves. This was frozen, and this was all rusty. So I took it apart and cleaned it up on the wire wheel. And this is a new piece. This is like the magnet, which indicates the position. So this goes on the crank. There's a little pin on the crank. Yeah. And so that goes onto the crank only one way. And then you put this thing, it slides over. I'll just take it off, see? It slides over, and you have to have this dimple facing to the left when this is at 1 and 4. And as you can see, so I thought this isolated the weights and made it so the weights didn't do anything at all. That's not true. They do still turn, and when they turn, when the weights move, right, you see they move where the position of the magnet would be. So the magnet's there, and as it spins faster and faster, the magnet goes forward. So hopefully this is okay. The springs felt okay. Seems to work. I will be checking that with the timing light eventually. Okay, so I bought, so I don't know if you remember, I took this off the wrong way and used that to rip off the little dowel that's in the original crank. The original crank's all rusty, so I'm not using it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I had leaned on this. This was pretty beat up when I got to it. I think I made it worse. In any case, I got a new one. So I think I have everything I needed to put the Dynatech electronic ignition pickup coil in, and the advancer. So I'll do that now. So I just put it on and tightened it up with the new bolt and nut. But this nut it doesn't seem to be the correct one. This nut has this little surface here which contacts directly with the inner surface of the advancer, and it allows the magnet thing to move around. So if I tighten it up with this, the advancer can't move. So I have to use the old one, which is fine. But it's disappointing that this probably $30 bolt and nut that's supposed to be the right one doesn't work. Okay. Like I said, it's kind of marred up, but it works. Okay. Alright, so the plate. So this plate is adjustable. However, I've seen other ones that are not adjustable. So you can maneuver the timing using this, turning it this way and that way through quite a broad range. And then also these pickups are also adjustable, which is interesting. Hopefully from the factory it is set properly. And how do I figure out? So something that's annoying is that normally there would be 3 Phillips head 5mm screws here. I don't have the screws. I have some bolts that I need to fit, but they are a pain in the ass to get started. I'll bring it back after I do that. Alright, well, I put it in and I centered the little line. See that little line there? Let's see if this is just right on that nub is a line, which is the timing mark. So I put that right in the middle of this circle, and that's about halfway on these adjusters. So it kind of sucks because I'm not going to know if the timing's accurate when I go to start it. But whatever. So I routed the little cable from here, goes under there, and here, and comes up to the battery box area. And I'm going to go find the cover somewhere. I have that. Well, it's Saturday, March 25th. I'm going to see John Wick 4 in a little bit. But, so I have the bike and need to put the top end together. Before I can put the top end together, I need to paint the cylinder and the cylinder head. I just did, but there's so many little holes on it, threaded holes, right? It's like I tapped or chased the intakes and then the exhausts, and then all the valve cover holes, and then all of the holes, 16 holes for the caps that hold down the camshafts. And also, I don't know how well it comes out here, but I polished the ends of the fins here. So you paint this black, but you have the fins, the very end of the fin, polished, and it ends up looking really nice. So anyway, as you can imagine, you know, it's it's kind of a pain in the ass. I don't like painting stuff. I just get so frustrated by it. So this is kind of kicking my ass, like having to deal with it. So I've got to get these end caps are supposed to be nice and polished, and they look pretty crappy. I blasted this in the vapor plaster, and these need some work. So before I can, when I paint this, I'm going to paint this cover with it on top of here, you know, for obvious reasons of I don't want to spray paint into the I don't want to spray paint into the valve area. I don't know, maybe I should just tape it, because this looks like kind of a pain in the ass. How do you get in there? I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I gotta polish the ends here before I can paint this. Looks like there's a big mark there. Maybe I'll try to take that out. I'm going on and on and on. And then here's another cylinder head that's for another KZ1000 project. That cylinder head and another cylinder, which is there, is going to go out to APE and have the same thing done. It's going to get 1075 Wiseco kit and go through the valve, the cylinder head, new valves, new springs, new retainers, new guides, professional valve job, the whole works, just like this one had. It's not really all that much money. For just, I think for all of the head work, it was like $1,500. And the boring and the 1075 kit was like 980 or something like that. So that's $2,500. I mean, that's a good amount of money, but it's not unbelievably ridiculous. So anyway, what I'm going to do right now is to see if I can work on getting these ends polished, because I have to do that before I can paint this thing. I don't necessarily need the valve cover to put the top end together, but eventually I'll need it, and I want to paint everything at the same time. So this is what I'm starting with. Can you see it? Seems like these lights kind of drown out stuff. Get away from the light a little bit. So that's what I'm starting with, that kind of finish. Trying to block the light. I don't know if you can see it. Jesus Christ, what am I gonna do? Put it behind, put it under the fucking table? Might help if I was a better cameraman, but whatever. Okay, so that's what I'm starting with. And then this one, geez, it's like I gotta turn the lights out in order to show you anything. I guess maybe because it's so reflective. It won't focus on it. Where can I go where there's not a lot of light? Well, you probably can't even tell. So that, I put some 220 on that. Yeah, you can't even tell. This is useless. And then this, I hit it with the Rolex disc and then sanded it with 220. So I'm going to go 400, 600, and then try hitting it with Mother's. Like everything, it's taking forever. Still having a problem trying to find a place I can actually show this. So here's how crappy it looks. And then this is one hit on the polisher. So the sanding first. So I did 220, 400, 600. Then I hit it with Mother's and a gray Scotch Brite pad. And then I hit it on the polisher over there, as you can see it, with the red brush. So there's black, red, blue, and white in the kit that I have. And I think I'll hit it on the blue next. Looks like I missed all over here. Looks okay like that though. It came out pretty good. All right. Well, this one's the bugger. There's so many nooks and crannies in this thing. I think if you look like, see all these like valleys here? So I think I need to kind of like, that's nice. I wonder what that is. Yeah, I kind of need to like paint it flipped over and then flip it over and paint it. Paint the other side. Something like that. But in any case, what I have to do now is tape it up. That'll take forever. 4 intakes, 4 exhausts. I don't know. Do I need to tape up the exhaust? I don't know. I'll come up with something. And I'm not going to just put the cover over it. I'll probably tape this. It'd be interesting to show this. On the left-hand side, you see the stock cam. And then on the right-hand side is the aftermarket cam. Whoops. You can see how it has a slightly longer duration, a slightly longer peak here, but it's also a little bit more narrow, which is interesting. I must give it its different profile. Not all that much higher. Painting the Z1R cylinder head that took about an hour and a half to mask it. There's so many holes. Every little exhaust hole, every screw hole, the 2 flat surfaces. There's all kinds of little, it's not a straight line. You see, it's like wiggle, 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 wiggle. The sides, it just went on and on. Anyway. Okay, well, it's all painted. I'm sure I'll have to go over this with some sandpaper. Clean up the line. This is what it's supposed to look like. Okay, that came off reasonably well. Last one is this one. Come on, baby. So that's got a little black paint on there, but I'll leave that for now. Let the paint harden up a little bit before I muck with it. This one is not coming off all that well, and it chipped a little bit there. Come on. Not too bad. A little bit right there. You can touch that up. Overall, I'm happy. We'll see how it deals with, see how it fares when I put it in. You have to, when you put the head in, you know, you gotta touch it. Actually, this, it's kind of nice that there's no paint there. You get your hands on it. Anywho. Here's the cover. That's basically what it'll look like. I'm getting ready to put the top end together, and I thought before I did that I would make sure that the coils fit, and if I need any kind of hardware, maybe I work out what kind of hardware I need. How did these go? So unfortunately these the coils were stripped when I got it, so I don't have anything to go off of. I do have other KZ1000s. I could probably go check one of those. I don't think they hang down. Pretty sure they go up here. Okay, but you know, that certainly doesn't look like it wants to work. How is this supposed to go? That's not right. So it can't, let's see, can you see? So I've got this flange on each side with 2 holes in it. And surely that doesn't work. But maybe there's like a standoff. Looks like those holes line up. Yeah. So those holes line up like that. But I need some kind of a standoff here. What can I use for that? You know, there's probably like a spacer kind of thing, a spacer bolt. Not a bolt, but yeah, a spacer. So I'll have to find something for that. But if I can put one there and one here, will they... Is that going to interfere with the frame, or is that going to be all right? Not sure. Alright, so I'm getting ready to put the top end together, and I need to find all the stuff. So let's see, and I also got some other stuff. Where's the other stuff? Okay, so this. So let's see. I'm not sure if that's going to come out in the light, but essentially, starts at the bottom. This is the basically diagram for the cam change, kind of complex because it's a dual overhead cam. So there's an idler on the bottom, which is this one. And there are these little rubber things. So there's a metal piece that goes in the middle. I'll have to use the old one, which I think is fine. And then there's some of these little rubber thingamajigs that go in here. Vibration dampening, I guess. So that goes with that. And then there's this. Which is a runner. And this goes on the bottom of the cylinder, right in here. I'll have to find the bolt for that, but that goes like that. Put a bolt in there. Right, so that's that one, and then there's this is the tensioner, there's a lot of moving parts on this stupid thing. Jeez. Yeah, and all this stuff costs $400 or $500. I mean, these things are all expensive. These were like $60-$70 a piece. These are adjustable cam sprockets. They were, I don't know, 50, 60, something like that. Manual cam chain tensioner. This is the one that goes up top. Looks like it comes with just the rolling part. So I'll have to go find that other stuff that goes to it. And there's these two side pieces, side tensioner sprockets. They don't give you the metal part, they don't give you the rubber. So I got the rubber, and I'll have to go find the metal part. So I gotta find that metal part that this lower one spins on, and I have to find these two metal parts. I gotta find that bolt. I gotta find the bolts that attach the top. That's what I gotta do. The rear foot pegs go here, and all that was on the bike was this one, which was kind of, I think the Kirker was like stuffed behind here. The megaphone part of it has a flange, and they had jammed it behind here. So this is a part that I don't have. So the same part is on a a KZ1000 is the same part. And what do you got? It's this piece is the same part. So I needed this chrome thing, which this didn't have, and I bought some of these used, which I have over there in a bag. I forget how much those were. And then separately I bought the actual foot peg part, which is, I cleaned up the shop a little bit. The foot peg part, yeah, the guy that did the restoration of the instruments sold me these. They look pretty good. They're torn there, but no one's going to see it. This part is different than the KZ750. As you can see, these are the old style, and then they switched to these things. So I got to take these pieces, see if I can clean up this the chrome piece, and paint the head and maybe this pin. Do I paint that, or do I try to polish it? I don't know. I'll see what's left of it when I take it apart. There's not much to grab onto. Somebody's welded on that, probably to try and make it more stable. Seems to have a, I don't know if it has an orientation or they're all the same thing or what. So how does it work? You go up like that. Oh, this pin is beat to crap. It's like so worn out. Look at that groove. Can you see it? Well, I thought I was getting something usable.
So it goes something like that.
Yeah, I think a bolt is going to work better. For now. I don't see myself having a lot of passengers on it, but I think the bolt will probably work fine. This one's definitely going to come off again, so I'm not going to tighten it, I don't think. It will come off again because the exhaust is going to mount up over here somehow. I'll have to make a bracket. Unless it comes with the correct bracket, which I very much doubt. I'll just kind of leave that there. For now, just leave that. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Slow, steady progress, I guess. The next episode, so this episode is basically prepping to put the top end together, painting the cylinder and the, so I'm looking at it right now. The cylinder and the cylinder head was a pain in the butt, and I just never looked forward to doing that, so it took me like, I don't know, that's 2 or 3 weeks of prepping, taping, degreasing it, then the paint, and I just don't like painting stuff. So, and it was pretty complicated to tape the cylinder head to get those edges. The edges didn't turn out 100% great, but they're pretty good, passable. So anyway, yeah. So the next episode is putting the top end together and adjusting the valves, which is kind of weird on these KZ1000s. It's done with shims instead of a little adjuster, which kind of sucks because if you don't have the right shim, you have to buy it, and they're kind of expensive. And degreeing the cams, and that's something I've not done before, and you can watch me work my way through that. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.